All right, hi everyone. So for my first topic of conversation in the marketing vignettes, I would kind of like to create a conversation around how Nike has used positioning, brand equity, and value creation to maintain its leadership on a global athletic scale in the apparel market specifically. And this is because just Nike is one of the most recognizable brands in the entire world. And its success comes from not only just selling shoes or apparel, but it's really about how they've built a powerful brand that connects with athletes and consumers more on an emotional level. So, kind of based on the marketing plan framework that we had in class, positioning and brand equity are critical elements of marketing strategy because this is what really shapes how customers perceive a brand and ultimately determine the value customers believe they're receiving from this. So, just in general, brand positioning really refers to how a brand is perceived in the mind of the target consumer compared to the brand's competitors. So Nike positions itself as a premium performance brand that really tries to empower athletes to achieve their potential, essentially. And so their positioning is not just really about selling products, it's really about inspiring performance, confidence, and achievement. And so Nike chooses to communicate this positioning through their iconic slogan of just do it. And this message really resonates strongly with athletes and fitness-focused consumers because it really taps into the motivation, the discipline, and the perseverance that sport and being active really consists of. And Nike also is able to differentiate themselves from their competitors like Adidas, Under Armour, New Balance through many different ways. And especially Nike really places a lot of emphasis on performance innovation. And they have products like the Nike Air, the Flyknit technology, different performance tracking technologies that really just reinforce the brand's commitment to helping athletes perform better. And also, Nike also builds their positioning through their elite athlete partnerships. So, especially right now, they have collaborations with a lot of high level, high profile athletes. That they consist of LeBron James, Serena Williams, Ronaldo. And really, this helps Nike strengthen their identity as a performance leader through other people's platforms. And also, finally, I should add too that Nike integrates lifestyle and culture into sport. And kind of unlike some of their competitors that just really focus on, athletic performance in general, Nike chooses to blend sports, fashion, and culture. And this really allows the brand to not only reach the competitive athletes, but also everyday consumers who really just like to identify with athletic lifestyle. And so, because of these strategies and these components, Nike has successfully positioned themselves as more than just a sportswear company. And it's really just they really have positioned themselves as a symbol of ambition and just personal achievement. And so, this kind of leads me next into what brand equity is. And so, brand equity really refers to the value that a brand adds to a product based on consumer perception, loyalty of a customer, and the emotional connection that one experiences. And so Nike has built an extremely strong brand equity through kind of the different six stages that we learned about in the customer-based brand equity model. And so first is the brand salience, which really refers to just brand awareness. And so Nike has achieved extremely high awareness globally through decades and decades of advertising, athlete sponsorships, and cultural influence. And then for brand performance, which really reflects how well the product meets consumer needs, Nike consistently invests in a lot of research and development to improve product performance, especially around footwear technology and their athletic apparel. And then the third component of this model is brand imagery, which is relational to how consumers psychologically connect with the brand. And so Nike's imagery really revolves around athletes' perseverance, empowerment, and personal growth. And then the fourth component is consumer judgments. And this is kind of where or excuse me, customers evaluate the brand's credibility and their superiority. So many consumers view Nike as one of the most innovative and performance-driven athletic brands on the market. And then the fifth component of the model is consumer feelings, so emotional responses. And Nike's marketing campaigns frequently kind of evoke feelings of inspiration, determination, and empowerment. There's a lot of great stuff there. And finally, in this model, the highest level is brand resonance. So this is a reflection of the deep loyalty and engagement that a brand allows their consumers to feel. And so Nike kind of has achieved this by creating communities around sports and fitness, not just through, high-level athletes or professional athletes. They've really done this through training apps, digital fitness platforms, and a lot of social media engagement. And so this kind of leads into my point around how Nike has created a lot of value for their customers. And they've done this through some functional value around the high performance products kind of designed to improve athletic performance. And they also provide emotional value through the inspiration and those emotions that I talked about earlier that kind of allows consumers to push their limits and pursue their personal athletic goals or fitness goals or whatever they may want to achieve in that way. And this kind of also allows Nike to provide some social value because wearing Nike products is kind of a signal of participating in the athletic lifestyle and kind of achieving this oriented lifestyle that like everybody, aspires to have in their life. And these layers of value are really what make Nike just such a powerful brand in the sports industry. And however, though, I will say like even some of these most successful brands, they must continue to evolve and maintain their competitive advantage in this way. And so this kind of leads me into some business recommendations for Nike that I personally feel would be very beneficial. And so my first one is for Nike to expand their integration around performance data and wearable technology, more so in the product ecosystem. And consumers, especially athletes like myself, we're very, very interested and very aware and need, tracking data, tracking information, and we're looking at our health performance and the recovery through this data. And brands like Whoop and Garmin are kind of already on this trend and have really capitalized this trend, to be honest with you. And Nike already has digital platforms like the Run Club app, the Nike Training Club, but it could really further strengthen the value of its proposition on the market by integrating, smartwear foot tech or oh my gosh, smart footwear technology that could track performance metrics or, through stride efficiency, fatigue, and injury risk. And, that's just only one example, but this strategy could really strengthen Nike's positioning as an innovative performance brand within this industry. And, it would further enhance their brand equity through consumer engagement, more relationships between athletes and the brand. And also too, it would really connect the products connected would help generate more valuable consumer insights that Nike um, could use to further improve their product development. And another recommendation too that I have for Nike is to kind of expand their community-driven experiences and the component of athlete storytelling. And Nike has always had a very strong emotional storytelling persona, but for the younger consumers, especially Gen Z, they really value the authenticity and community connection even more than just traditional advertising. So Nike could increase the value through investments of local athlete communities, digital training challenges, personalized coaching experiences, or even community-based fitness events. You see like Lululemon or Viore, they do that like at a mall, and I think strengthening these experiences, Nike would just move beyond selling the products and kind of create a performance ecosystem that is centered around performance or community and motivation. And again, it would also really strengthen the brand resonance amongst brand equity and the consumers who ultimately just feel will help themselves feel more connected to a community that of a brand that they love so much, and they're more likely probably to remain loyal and advocate for this brand. So overall, I really think Nike's success is really driven by their strong positioning. They have very powerful brand equity, and they have a great ability to bring a lot of value and meaning for their consumers. And so Nike has positioned themselves as a premium performance brand that really just inspires athletes to achieve their potential, achieve their goals. And through the innovation, athlete partnerships, and this emotional storytelling, the company has really built one of the strongest brands in the world. And that doesn't say they need to continue to adapt and move forward with the changing of the world and changing of society and the trends and the needs and wants of their consumers, but by expanding their performance tracking technology and investing in community-driven brand experiences, I think Nike can really strengthen their competitive advantage while just deepening the relationship with their consumers. And I just think ultimately these strategies will really reinforce Nike's position as one of the most inspiring and innovative brands in sport. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed.